Hey, I'm Sasha. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Legacy Heirs from the Nightmare Legacy Challenge that I played. If you didn't watch my previous video, I gave you tips on how you can play a Legacy Challenge and complete it to 10 gens just like I did. So this video, grab some popcorn, the tea, I don't know, sip something, because you know what? I'm going to be telling you everything about these Sims. Ooh, some of them were horrible, some of them are the cutest, but you know what? That's what made the legacy fun for me. Let's get into the mess, the tea, the fun stuff, the cute stuff, and everything in between. So now let's talk about these heirs. I mean, I keep saying heir this, legacy that. You're like, oh, show me the Sims, Sasha. Okay, I'll show you. So this is my heirs, the first 5 you're looking at right now. So this legacy started with this Sim. His name is Nico Way, and like I said, I never started with a masculine Sim, and I just want to be honest, he may look a little vanilla, but because I started my mods folder with him, you know, and he was probably the first save of this folder, save file, or whatever you call this full Sims 4 folder, whatever you want to call it, you know, because I used to play Alpha CC and I moved over to Max Match. His name is Nico Way. Don't know how I came up with the name, probably something I picked, but the way was me randomizing a bunch of names. That's how I found out. Again, I started the save around August 2021, or if not, July 2021. Not entirely sure. I'm gonna probably look at my screenshot folder to find out the date for y'all, see if I can find info. But yeah, his trait is, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell y'all. So with this actually save, they do recommend you to use a new save file, and you're supposed to create the sim based off doing the quiz for the Sims 4. If you ever saw it, like story mode or something like that, he was created with story mode. So he had like this whole like thing that told me that he's gonna be a cop, and they gave me the aspiration fabulously wealthy, but I didn't really, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that aspiration for the first Sim is wild. So I went with Nerd Brain, and he, like I said, if y'all saw his home, he was working with the logic skill and the handiness skill, and y'all saw that little place. Like, what was he handy fixing? But you know what? Let's talk about the Nightmare Legacy, the Way Legacy family. Gen 1. At first you're broken sweet, but you end up trifling. Skills, handiness, and logic. I do want to tell y'all though, at every point of the legacy, I did like to think of a word with a nightmare in it. So I think I thought like the Nightmare Legacy is a nightmare for real, because like the Sim is a nightmare. He's kind of worse than a lot of trifling Sims that I've had on my channel, and y'all hear the story, you'll know. Let's talk about it. Nico Way grew up without a family. He sometimes feels like he came from thin air. He ended up on the streets of Oasis Springs and owns a rundown home. Now y'all saw that home. Okay, his life is a nightmare until he randomly bumps into the love of his life. A Sim who almost has the exact same traits as him, 2 of 3 I believe. In my save, I treated it as if Miko Ojo felt pressure from being in politics, so she left that career to go into business. Have a spouse quit their initial career for something else. It's like they're settling for a career, but they chose the best partner. Can't win at all. Nico works as a cop, and he's almost always staying late, and he adopts the workaholic lifestyle as a result. This leads him to have an affair with the assistant in his career. For me, it was Zoe Patel. They would shower woohoo at work, and Miko never sensed anything. His 2 kids didn't even know of his double life. The only Sim that knew was Zoe, and maybe like 1 Sim at work. Nico kept his business to himself and never felt guilty for cheating. Yeah, he becomes a bad Sim in the end. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, let's talk about the end, okay? Because he never told his wife about the affair. I know it's messed up, but I just wanted a mess of a gameplay. Anyway, he has a retirement party after he maxes out his career and is an elder Sim. I believe I used a mod for that, but anyway, his wife has already passed away at this point, by the way. So, you know, potion of youth. At his retirement party, he proposes to Zoe in front of his their coworkers and children, and his children. So let's talk about Gen 2. So let me introduce y'all to his son, Rico Way. He had another kid, her name was Kiko, so I went with rhyming names. I also would love to say that I'll randomly add tips, but try to do fun names like that where it just, I don't know, it's like Nico, Kiko, Rico, Miko, Ojo. Like they just had, you know what I'm saying, all rhyming names, okay? I love that for them. Anyway, If you notice, he has two traits similar to his dad: good and neat. I do want to, 1 second before I go to here, if the personality discovery existed, oh, I know they would have given him something off. They would have said, oh, you're not good, Nico, stop. So, but the Sims can't really tell their change like that. But I think that system really does help from growing together. If you don't know, it's like the new second oldest pack. Wait, I don't know how to say, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's go to Rico Way and let me read the info that I wrote. So I believe I forgot what I called his gen about the nightmare word, but I do want to say that you could do that for yourself, but I just named them differently now. But Gen 2, life of the tragedy novelist ends in a tragedy. Skill, writing. I don't remember what was the other skill. So I just want to say that some of them I just don't remember, honestly. It's been some time since the gameplay, but yeah, let me tell you now his story. You grew up similar to your parents. You're good and neat, but you're a gloomy sim. Deep down, you know there's Sims out there who understand how you feel. So when you were a teenager, you started having writing streams through the Quiet Stacy streaming mod. You would write and you'd get a little change off that. But as a big brother, you inspired your sister, who ends up being a journalist. Your first ever book was dedicated to your mother, Long Live Miko Ojo. This book was about grief of losing a parent, and it did put you on the scene. It's not a bestseller, but it's a niche and Sims adore you for it. You end up with your best friend from your childhood, Billy Jang, but things get weird when you find out that you got a WTD from her from your dad's retirement party. You find out that she cheated on you with someone who works with your dad. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Y'all, yeah, it happened at the party that I found out. I swear it was not something, not even script, not even something I expected. I was thinking they were, it was going to be so wholesome because, again, I wanted a break from Gen 1 and its mess because, again, he never got caught cheating, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot for me, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted something to calm. And then Billy Jang threw a curveball at me at that time. I believe I think the first time I started referring to moments in my gameplay a curveball. And it really was, though. Like, it was up random. Yeah, it happened. All right, so some junior cop, but with time, you take her back because that deep sadness opened a creativity for you that you never thought was possible. Of course it hurts, but only Rico truly understood what it did for his career. With stipulations, they got back together, and it was a perfect time because your father will die in a few days. You have this image of a hardworking father you didn't know about his other life until after his death. His wife Zoe will confess this over a holiday dinner, which ends up in chaos. This makes Rico so sad, so he continues to write book after book his whole life. He thought, what if he knew what his father did when he was young? Would he have forgiven Billy? Would he have missed out on the best love story? Because I think actually Zoe did tell him, like, almost before she died, and they were having dinners with her. This was a sim they knew, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I told y'all, but Gen 1, he died in such a tragically sad way. Like, he died alone. By the way, his son and his daughter were at work, Billy was at work, everybody was at work, and he just like died. He was like literally only there to stay over for like a day or two. I thought he was going to be able to go back to his wife, and no, that did not happen, child. He just died on the floor. That was interesting. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know that he did also die in a sad way. So he thought, yeah, look, what would happen? Like, would he have missed out on the best love story? Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, yeah, they did have the best love story. Like, surprisingly, like, Billy never cheated. And when they lived in Mount Komorebi, they explored, in my mind, Miko Ojo's has some original ties to Mount Komorebi. So he explored his mother's culture there. He had the Mount Komorebian aspiration. I don't know if you saw that, but it's there. It says Mount Komorebi sightseer. So he goes up to level 10 of his career and has one child with his wife. Her name is Heirs. That one sibling he has, his sister, she also has one child with her boyfriend, but the boyfriend isn't the best father and they break up. Rico writes his final book, Long Live Love, a book about love, forgiveness, and that forgiveness is meant for you, a message to his daughter and niece to not worry about him, Billy, and Kiko. Rico had an event where he read the book. Fun fact, I think that's how I eventually got to do that for my sim in Let's Play called Rita from the Boldens. That's basically from experience, So Rico had an event where he read the book to the audience and he died in the pool of that area. It was Club Calico. And yes, okay, it was so sad. I do want to say also, fun fact, I do again, this is Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. I think I was committed into playing one world only. And I do kind of play like that, by the way, y'all. There are some places like I feel like it's like a state lines and stuff like that, like you don't have to worry about it being a vacation or something, or it's too unrealistically far. And I do again want to make a video on how I view Sims 4 worlds. That is definitely coming up, so you're just gonna understand where your girl Sasha is at with that. But at the time, again, it was at, you know, Club Calico. And again, now had I known more information, obviously I would have had a really swanky, fancy, cute, or even like, you know what I'm saying, a down to earth, maybe even a little rugged for him, you know, because he was very like chill vibes. Again, I'm going to show you their homes, how the photos look of the family whilst I'm reading this to you. Oh God. But yeah, anyway, he died in the pool, y'all. He died in the pool. He just like, he drowned. When I tell y'all I was shook, honestly, to this day, I'm traumatized from that death. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really shook. Anyway, now let's go to Gen 3 and let me let y'all meet my queen. Yes, Eris. This is his daughter, and actually, she did live with her cousin for a little bit, but yeah, that's about it. I think after that, Gen 4, Gen 5, I don't remember siblings living together. It was completely different gameplay channel. But anyway. So she is not necessarily a good sim. It says public enemy. She's a vegetarian sim, hot-headed, and self-absorbed. Ooh, these were hard ones to roll with, but it was fun. Her gameplay was fun. Like, you could tell, like, I gave her tattoos. I gave her a face tattoo. I gave her eyebrow piercing. I think actually the first 3 gens all have eyebrow piercings. I believe so. I think his hair is not showing y'all, but I think he did have eyebrow piercing. Yes, he does. So I just want to show y'all. So yes, I did commit to that. Like, I was trying fun stuff for myself to see, you know, what I could do with the game again. So yeah, the first 3 gens do have eyebrow piercing. I remember that. That's something I never thought about until now for a while. But yeah, this is Eris, and she's Billy. So, you know, in a sense, if you think about it, like from Townie's perspective, you could call this the Jang legacy, literally. You can call this the Ojo legacy. Like, these are like the bosses, you know. I have a special like place for these sims, you know. I never like say it a lot, but I do really adore the Jang family. I adore Miko Oja, you know. She is a criminal career villain, whatever you want to call it, but she's the best mom of all time, okay? So this is what Gen 3 is called. Criminal boss girl, but the best mom of all time. Skill, charisma, and mischief. Dad worked a lot and stared into a computer screen and wore his eyeglasses because of it. But the heiress did not want that. She didn't want to just stay at home. She wanted that action. So she took her cousin to San Myshuno and purchased a penthouse because one day she was going to have 10 kids there. No more being an only child. I mean, lonely child. Eris worked in the criminal career and she enjoyed the mess. Her friends list was mostly red. Eris married a sim who was her friend. Oh yeah, which was interesting because I feel like she liked him, but she wasn't like necessarily in love with him. She was just trying to have a family, and it was like because she wanted a big family. Like, she would say, "Oh, who want to have 10 kids?" And everybody was like, "Girl, bye. I'm not trying to do this with you." Like, he was probably like you know, Jaden. His name is Jaden. Jaden was like, yeah, I'm gonna have 10 kids with you. And she's like, no, you stop, Jaden. Like, you're my friend. Like, I know we woohooed once or twice, but you don't mean it like that. And he was like, no, I'm serious. Like, when she was going in the clubs, shaking, you know, what mama gave her, and like her and Jaden having fun going in these streets. But Jaden was just kind of like the one who took her somewhat seriously, you know, because I feel like maybe she wasn't taken seriously, and so that's kind of what made her fall eventually down the line in love with him. But let's talk about that. So she and her good friend Jaden had 10 kids. Jaden always liked Eris. Like, he was in love with her. Like, he was trying to say anything, but of course, like, he's a good father, y'all. I'm not even gonna play. This man was a great sim. Okay, so they did have an open relationship for a while, by the way, until Jaden asked her to close the relationship. And of course, Eris accepted it, but she started to feel like she was in a loveless, like, marriage, relationship, whatever you want to call it. But I do remember that they had a commitment ceremony when one day, like, I think it was about sixth child or something, or, you know, and she looked at him and she was just so flirty vibes, and she was just like, you know, autonomously kissing him or something. Like, that's just how I remember it. And just being so lovey-dovey with him that I felt like she's truly in love with him. And then, you know, that's how I decided for them to have that wedding ceremony. Eris was a bad ASS. Like, she was fighting sims. She was, again, like, in these streets, like she was really mean. Okay, she was trolling the forums. Whoever said something mean to y'all in your comment before, it was Eris. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about forums, by the way, not somewhere else. But yeah, Eris was definitely trolling. She just had a really cool buzz cut. She had green hair at one point too. She had turquoise, and then I think she ended up committing it to being red, but then when she was an elder, she just decided that she was just gonna stop the hair colors. But yeah, that's kind of how Eris' story is. So out of the 10 kids, kid number 7, Miss Tia Wei, is the heir. So if you're wondering, girl, don't your Sims last names change? No. If it's a feminine sim marrying masculine sim, you're changing your last name, Mr. Masculine Sim. Okay, that's what I believe. Okay, so yeah, this is Tia Wei, and this is Tia. She's so adorable. She lives in Sulani, and her traits is dog lover, cat lover, and she's squeamish, and she has the inner peace aspiration. Loved playing with Tia and her husband Damien, and oh my god, they were just really cute. Wait a minute, do I have 2 Damiens in the same series? Yeah, Gen 4's husband's called Damien, and Gen 10's husband's called Damien. What a coincidence. But her Damien's with the E, and the other Damien's with the A, I believe. But anyway, let's talk about Gen 4. Gen 4, Sulani, where are you? Skill, cooking, and wellness. Tia grew up in a big family. Being 7 out of 10, what made her stand out is that she was the one with the unique toddler trait that I randomized. She moves to where her high school online boyfriend is, and for me, it's Sulani. Tia loves animals so much, so she welcomed stray cats and dogs with the lot trait, by the way. So again, experiment with a lot of traits, y'all, because you get to see different forms of the gameplay. Since she loved cats so much, I decided that I was gonna name her kids what you would name a cat, but like with cooking element, because the cooking skill, and since she loves animals, so like Sprinkles, Muffin, and Cupcake. She had 3 girls, and I named them those names. So Tia worked as a lifeguard, and she also streamed while she was at home, doing live yoga classes so that her followers could join her. Again, I do use Kawaii Stacy's streaming mod a lot. And it also really helped me explore, again, what I could bring to my channel. If I found out from yoga that I could do this, guess who was doing it? Jennifer from the Single Ladies. She had an amazing love story with her husband. They went on frequent dates. They explored Sulani together as a couple. She lived close, by the way, to her oldest brother, the number 1, and I forgot what his name was, but he married into the Kahananui family, and her in-law, she was close also with her in-laws who lived nearby too. I just want to say though, Gen 4 had very wholesome gameplay compared to the crime boss gameplay. All right, so Gen 5. Oh, you're so childish. Please grow up. Skill painting. Gen 5's a mess. So let me show y'all and meet Sprinkles Wei, the oldest of the family. She is the heir, and I think she had that in common with Gen 2, being the oldest. And I felt like, by the way, oddly enough, for a while, the Gen 2's face, I felt kept coming to the kids. I think this one, she looked like her father. She looked like Mr. Jaden. Sorry, not Jaden. Yeah, Mr. Jaden. But this one, she looked like her grandpa. I was just like, my God, I could see a little bit of Rico in her, But yeah, that was just very funny to me. Anyway, so yeah, this is Sprinkles Wei. I think also she was lighter in complexion than both her mother and father. And I think I would say this also with the Sims is that with legacy gameplay, you get to learn and understand more about Sims 4 genetics. And y'all will see in Gen 10 what I mean by that. So yeah, she's lazy, childish, and a goofball sim, and her aspiration is painting. She was in the painting career. Her skill was painting. You see, she's a little childish, she's very like, you feel like one-dimensional, okay? But you can see here's her outfits. She just had a really cute style. I had so much fun. And I do want to say she did dye her hair when she was an adult sim. She's actually the oldest one in this lineup because she kind of became like her true self as an adult. She was hiding that childish side, that goofball, like this. She didn't want to share that with Sims. She was just a little ashamed, and her mother didn't like that. She was always saying, honey, show who you are, don't be ashamed. The oldest of the family is the heir for this gen, but she acts like she's the youngest. See, your mother babied you so much, you end up being childish and so somewhat of a little non-committal side to her, okay? You enter college, you flunk out, or you barely made it to the finish line. You have 4 baby mamas because your one true love can't commit to you. And every time you want to play with a toy in front of a sim, you're not comfortable to do that. Even in your own home, you would hide in the bathroom. Even though your mother tells you to really accept yourself no matter what, it takes you a while to get there. At least in the very end, you do end up with the one baby mama, her true love, the first baby mama. And you name your kids random colors because why not? I mean, not only that, but it's a nod to the icon for the childish trait, and she's a painter, like double entendre. I'm just playing though. Your oldest daughters hate each other, even though you try your best to stop them from arguing. There's happiness and love for you at the end. But oops, is that your daughter causing mess in Del Sol Valley? That's basically Gen 5. So I get a little theatrical with writing it, but Gen 6, my theatricalness is very theatrical because the sim is an actress and she has the erratic trait. So I'm about to leave this cast for y'all so that y'all could see the next line of sims. Give me a second. But yeah, before I leave, I just want to say their names just one last time. Nico Way, Rico Way, Eris Way, Tia Way, and Sprinkles Way. This is Violet Way. Her traits, I mean, I was kind of spooky. Like, you know, Gen 6 and Gen 3 are the messiest. Sorry, and Gen 9. Yeah, so that's kind of funny that it takes that long for it to be, and I'm talking about messy like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, her traits are erratic, jealous, and cheerful. She is the villainous Valentine, and this is her up close. So she's the second oldest, so I went with the second baby mama. So she had 4 baby mamas, 4 kids, her mother, and she don't F with her big sister. But yeah, I just want to show y'all, like, she did kind of do a little cosmetic work out of all the gens. She might have got a little bit something on her lip, a little maybe lift on the cheekbones, a little bit perfection in the jaw. Like, again, she's an actress, so there might have been a little bit of tweaking, a little bit. But her moms are stunning. Both moms are stunning. So she really is very stunning and very adorable and cute. But yeah, this is her. Like, look at this. She just knew when to enter a room. Okay, like, oh my god. If you followed me on Twitter at the time, you just know this lady was messy. Okay, but yeah, this is her. Okay, I love this outfit. Actually, when I think of her, I think of this outfit because I just remember it being so cute on her. I was like, it was, I think, even at the time the CC probably came out, so like I associate it with her. I don't know if you ever do that, by the way. Have you ever had an outfit or a hairstyle somewhat iconic to one of your sims and you're just like, oh my god, I still can't use that on a specific sim? I mean, just recently did I give this outfit to Mickey from my Bold and Save. But yeah, just so you know, it's really not like all the time where I try to give outfits. Sometimes it might be too memorable on a sim, and even this hair, I probably didn't give it out for a minute until it went on Rita. I mean, not her inspiring the Boldens. If you don't notice, look at her body. Even like she is very ripped. She activity, fitness. Even Tia is also like this. She's very ripped. Like, they're both ladies worked out. Okay, they do not play when it comes to the gym. Okay, look at these muscles here. Like, yes, sis. Okay, but yeah, this is her outfit, and she's just that girl. And I'm sorry, she was chaotic. I had a lot of fun playing with her story. But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all what her story is. So Gen 6, villainous Valentine, skill, acting, and active. I know, A and A, right? Okay. Gosh, my emotions are everywhere. Isn't it, Violet? Dang it. I shouldn't have talked to myself out loud before Sims recognize I'm erratic. But hey, is that also Violet calling me? Violet is sick and tired of her annoying sister Raven, who thinks she's so perfect because her mom is the one that won my mom's heart in the end. She's so pretentious. Yes, we will fight every single week until I move out of this place, okay? I don't care. That's what I feel like how Violet would talk. Violet felt her mother chose Raven's side and that she felt her sisters low-key did. Yeah, that was kind of sad. Okay, so the voices were saying this, and they know what's best, child. The goal is to fall in love with your co-star, marry him, cheat on him with a director. He also cheats on you, your husband, and he has a baby with another co-star. I know it's messy, okay? And by the way, just so you know, I didn't even intend for him to cheat, but he did it on his own. I was like, you know what? Why not like have this be part of the gen, you know? Anyway, but yes, do you know how I found out he cheated, by the way? I got a phone call from the lady like, hey, I had the baby. And I was like, you had a baby with who? I was like, man, I take care of you all day. When did you live with this lady? I mean, maybe it was while my girl was away at work, but that's physically impossible. Actually, it doesn't keep me up at night because I don't care, because I'm Team Violet, but like, that was funny. Anyway, now you have 2 kids and 2 baby daddies, but the chaos tastes so damn good. Okay, you try to ruin other Sims' relationship like your own, and the more you do it, the more easier it gets, until you're ready to have your 3rd child and you meet the finest 5-star actor. Okay, like this, he's like, you know, S tier for celebs, okay? And she meets him at a restaurant with his wife, and ooh, the blogs will be talking since you're not as famous as him. I mean, you know, she was famous. Blogs were kind of talking. And if you don't know, you could use the Kiara Sims mod, which talk like, you know, you get blogs talking about you, you'll get notifications about it, and you can even sue the blog if they're lying on you. So it's kind of funny, but I love that mod. And that mod definitely probably was very much alive in this gen. You have to seek friendship out with him until he's ready to invite you to the hills, where he tells his wife that he's kicking her to the curb and he's moving you in. But things get messy when his wife holds a gun to you and you're almost about to lose your life. So I used hold hostage through extreme violence mod. Thankfully, your boo saves you, and the wife was either arrested or maybe he might have used extreme violence mod to, you know what I'm saying, to save you. Now you're in the hills, baby, with all the money in the world. Your sisters idolize you. Raven comes around with a stank attitude, not gonna lie. They kind of like very standoffish, but I remember this. Like every time they'd hang out as 4 sisters, like, you know, she'd call them to visit her town and stuff, because they live in Brindleton Bay, right? They would just be like, giving faces, you know. Sorry, not Raven, all of them, but, you know, all the other sisters would be like, oh my god, it's Violet, you know, and then it's Raven like, you know, oh, okay, yeah, you know. And, you know, no shade, but Raven does have like the picture perfect life in a sense. Like, she married somebody she genuinely loves, has all, like, I think 3 or 4 kids, and I think her legacy is still continuing. I think they're called the Tobin family or something. Somehow all your kids are humble and sweet. You wonder how on earth that happened. You can cheat on the spouse all you want, but you gotta be discreet because you don't want him to know. You sort of kind of respect him, or maybe love him, who knows, there's something there. However, did you notice that you have 4 baby parents like your mom? Oh, not history repeating itself. But for real, one thing about me is I kind of notice sometimes my Sims repeat history, and I always find it so fascinating. I'm not even gonna lie, it's so entertaining when Sims repeat history. It's like, oh, you doing what your mama did, you doing what your granddaddy did, you know what I'm saying? Now let's go to her son, who's the heir of Gen 7. He's indirectly the heir, not that I picked one, but I was playing this challenge called the Perfect Life Challenge, the indirect heir, because like he ended up with my sim from that challenge. And so then it just kind of inspired me to, why not give him that, you know what I'm saying? Why not have him be the heir for this gen? And I'm not gonna lie, Adam, this is probably the gen that I really less like played with, because I played with the spouse more, but I feel like that was kind of different for me, so why not, you know? So yeah, meet Shanning Wei. He does have the jealous trait, he does have the recycled disciple trait, and bookworm trait. All right, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I think the jealousy trait does come from him being somewhat envious of like small beginnings, and like, you know, he lived in a 50 by 40, so I think he liked when he used to visit some of his cousins and seeing a different lifestyle. So yeah, he has a soulmate aspiration. He just wants that one true love. And again, like y'all know me now, mess then wholesomeness. Okay, Gen 7, right is right, skill research. So basically the goal was that he was just going to be a lawyer in my mind. So now let me tell y'all the tea. You're raised with a silver spoon, but many Sims wouldn't know your mother is the Violet Way, the messiest, craziest celebrity in history. I know you're low-key embarrassed that she's known for this and all the other stuff she's been known for. I mean, I just want to say sidebar, his mother once like cheated with a guy who was like low-key a celebrity, and he said, hey, like, come to my place. And so she went to his place, and I thought he was gonna live in a cute place. Okay, he was living in a trailer, low-key, and he had like a bunch of kids and a wife. And when his wife saw her, she accidentally peed her pants. It wasn't even on purpose. It was just because I think her needs were dropping or something. And I mean, maybe like Violet was on the lot for a while, but it was just so humiliating, like the type of stuff that Violet has in her life, you know. I feel like somebody probably definitely wrote a biography on her, kind of thing, you know. Like she probably got interviewed, and she probably like helped somebody like write it up, because she ain't no writer, you know. You know, she's his mother. At the end of the day, he still loves her. What could he do? Like, he can't change his mom's history. But anyway, on your visits to Brindleton Bay to see your aunts, you met the cutest girl ever, aka my sim from the challenge. Her name's Ada, and I changed her last name to be Ada Way, but her name's Ada Argan. But yeah, she's best friends with your first cousin April. She comes from humble beginnings until her father started working with celebrities and got caught up in the mess. If you ever watched that series, you know what happened. All this to say is, you know that Channing probably was a little envious when how it came off. Her life was quote unquote perfect, you know, like she had a mom and dad, and you know, she had their attention, all this stuff, compared to like your mom is this actress who has to go to do this stuff and la la la. Or, you know, again, I'm not saying that Violet is necessarily a bad parent, but she wasn't so active compared to like other gens, you know. So this brings you to closer, you know, when the bad stuff happens in her life. And he like starts to have these, like, you know, talk to her and hear her out, and he falls in love with her, obviously. But yeah, you know what it's like to be so close to the stars, you know. So he definitely gave his experience, his story. You just want out from all of this, and she wants to leave Brindleton Bay. So he wants to leave Del Sol, she wants to leave Brindleton Bay. So you both decide, why don't y'all move away to Evergreen Harbor and do college? You live in a small apartment, which is probably the size of your old room in your home, Del Sol Valley, but this feels like an actual home. You're your dedicated partner, and all you want to do is see your wife shine, kind of how your father was like to your mom. Which is true. I mean, his father was just such a like nice guy. He really did want the best for Violet. So you want to see her accomplishments and her goals of being a chef, have kids, open an at-home restaurant for her, while you care about the environmental laws of Evergreen Harbor. You hope the future of your children is safe and good. Vegetarianism was abandoned in this gen because Channing's wife was cooking so good he couldn't help it. Now see, that's the tea. That's the tea. That's why they're not vegetarians anymore, and why it continued. All right. This is Gen 8. His daughter, she's a twin. So it was literally like, I don't know, did I flip a coin? I think I flipped a coin. I'm not entirely sure how she was chosen. But yeah, like I said, he's the youngest of his siblings for him. And for him, again, it was because of Ada that I was like, oh, they're so cute. But like, he has an older brother named Chris, Nisi. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know, but I named the kids for Gen 7 all after actors. So he's named Channing Tatum, you know, from Channing Tatum. And then he has a sister, Niecy Nash, you know. And then he has a sibling like, I forgot, Chris Evans or something. I don't know, something like that. I named them after celebrity names. So I thought that was, again, like, commit to naming them around what maybe their potential skill is, the career they're in for the parents. Like, make it feel like the parents so into it. Because, I mean, literally, all your, you know, the short lifespan is going quickly, so you're a lot of the times working on skills. Why not name these kids after the skill? This is about this one, Emma, and her brother's name was, I think, Elliot. I'm not sure, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a minute. But yeah, Emma and her brother just both have names that start with the E. It was a vowel. The mother's name started with a vowel. I think that's kind of maybe where I was at with naming these two kids, and maybe even also maybe Google helped me with that. I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, her traits are bookworm, loves outdoors, and outgoing. So I think she got the bookworm one from her mom, because her mom was into like reading books and stuff. And yeah, she's an outgoing sim. She loves outdoors, so she used to take a lot of photos and stuff around the world, and leader of the pack. This aspiration I remember from memory, that it was really fun working on it. I'm not even gonna lie, I had fun. So yeah, this was a fun aspiration. I think it was probably my favorite one, other than the Mount Komarabi sightseer. So on the final episode of the Perfect Life Challenge, it was revealed that Emma was pregnant with her boyfriend. So I just want to let y'all know, like, as a note. So this is why I said life started early, young for you. You know, like, she was really young. She became a young mother. Okay, and the skill was photography. It was a short skill, 5 only. I think she was working as a photographer, maybe a freelance one, but yeah, it was a while ago. So when your parents died the same day, which was so sad. If you watch the challenge, I don't know if I showed y'all, but they died, like one died in the first floor, the other died in the second floor. It was like literally moments apart. It was so sad. And they were true love, by the way. I don't know if I told you that. When your parents died the same day, when you were still a teen, and you and your twin will never forget that. It's too traumatic to stay in Evergreen Harbor. So your mother's brother, who lives in Willow Creek, takes you guys in to stay with him as long as you want. If you don't know, that's his maternal uncle, and his name is Jace. So at this point he was like an adult, but like I always feel like when I think of Jace, like a little boy. Not only that, you're expecting, and this is the first time in the legacy that there's a teen mom. You have your child, balanced school, and honestly, you feel blessed that you're living with your uncle. However, your boyfriend, who's also, by the way, a twin, which was so random. Fun fact, your twin brother dated his twin sister, and it was a weird period, not gonna lie. Promised that he was gonna move in with you to Willow Creek and leave Evergreen Harbor behind, but he ended up not moving with you. So now you're on your own, and you have to figure this whole thing out alone. It's scary, but you're willing to do it on your own. You heard about how Willow Creek has taken a hit in the press and how it's like a ghost town since the Goths disappeared. Now you want to spread awareness and try to help with the tourism of Willow Creek. Take beautiful pictures of Sims, record their stories, stream when you can, and you could chat with Sims to spread awareness that Willow Creek is not a dead city. So I remember, like, I think I tried to go along the path of, like Humans of New York, but like Humans of Willow Creek. Like, I think that's how I did it. That's kind of like the inspiration of this gen, and talking about stories through these Sims. And I got to like look at these households before she interviewed, figure out like how old were they, or did they lose their parent recently, or what I noticed about them, and come up with a story that meshed with them and their story and stuff. It was very fun working on this gen. Like this, it was very creative for me. I felt like it was just so random, but yeah, I don't know, I liked it. Along this path, you meet a really cool Sim. Like, bro, like this guy, her husband was so cool. His name is June, and they fall in love. By the way, it was so cool. Like, I don't know, June was so amazing. He had face tattoos, and he's just a cool Sim. Like, Sims would judge him, but like if you knew June, you would love him so much. He treats your daughter like his own child. Of course, her father does come by to check in on her every now and then. Your husband does have face tattoos, and your family is kind of a little judgy of him, but how can they judge when 2 cousins woohooed and got excommunicated from the family? Listen, I had to remove them from the family club, okay? Because if you remember, this gen is about leader of the pack, so obviously it was all about clubs and events and all this stuff, but yeah, no, I wasn't gonna do any of that. Ciao, goodbye. So this Sim for Gen 9 has heterochromia. She has green eyes from her father and purple eyes from her mother. So yeah, this is her, and she is clumsy. She loves cats and dogs, and she's a clubber Sim. So I felt like for her, I think I might have added the clumsy one because I just felt like she was probably like drinking a lot, partying a lot, and she falls out when she leaves those, locations and stuff. That's kind of, I think, where the inspiration was. And this is a custom aspiration. It's called Karaoke Master. So, again, she was partying, drunk karaoke. Like, it was all this gen was about partying and having fun. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this gen is messy, like I said. Yeah, street style. I think she was kind of like Windenburg was somewhat of a more city, almost like a San Myshuno vibe to me in my head because of how much partying there was. I don't know if you know that, but I think for me the big party cities are like, oh yeah, the greatest parties are held in San Myshuno, Dalsall Valley, and Windenburg. That's definitely where my mind is at when I think of parties. But yeah, let's go ahead and now understand who the Sim is, because her name is Arya, and I think her brother's name is Cole. Yes, Cole. Yeah, it is. Okay, so her name is Arya. If you don't know, but yeah, she has one brother, and they have an age difference between each other because, again, her mom was a single mom for quite a bit, and then eventually down the line she met this guy, like I told y'all, June, and June is her stepdad. So now let's know her perspective, how she views her life and stuff like that. Gen 9, running into resentment and regret. Skill, dancing, and singing. You low-key hated that your father was never around and that your mother was always over your shoulder making sure if you're okay when it's just not okay. Because I feel like for her, she definitely wanted to be in a 2-parent household. Okay, so yeah, June is my stepdad, not my real dad, and he'll never be my real dad. You caught your mother snooping in your diary as you share these thoughts with yourself, and you get mad. You've been itching to leave her. Sorry, not me getting mad for her. You've been itching to leave her, and your boyfriend wants to run away from his family, so you decide to run away with him and leave your mom, brother, and stepdad in Willow Creek to go to Windenburg. Windenburg seems nice. Sims can smoke anywhere they want to. Actually, I think for the smokers of my game, I think maybe Gen 1 smoked, Gen 3 smoked, and Gen 6 didn't do anything, I think. They smoke a lot. Okay, so yeah, because again, for me, Windenburg, legally, you're allowed to smoke anywhere you want. Again, like I said, when I talk about the world, I'm going to make a video on it. I'm going to talk about the legal laws and stuff that I view of these lands and stuff like that. But yeah, Sims can smoke anywhere they want to. So your boyfriend works in construction. You're just trying to finish high school, trying to get into some career to help this, the household. It's all fun and games until you hear the news that your father passed away, and you're pregnant with Hyro's baby, and you can't even tell your father the news. This broke your heart, and you try to act like everything's okay. What's worse is dad moved to Willow Creek when you moved away to marry some lady. A part of you wondered if your mother is not worth moving to Willow Creek for, but there is this deep guilt that's inside you that makes you want to believe that, but you also feel like, oh my god, what if it was because he wanted to be closer to you? You never asked out of shame, but you could tell in his voice that he wanted to spend those last days with you because you were his only child. You get deep into the Windenburg party style, and you drink a lot and come back home late, and later. You did not drink in your pregnancy, but you were partying a lot. Your man is tolerating you because he knows you're her, but how long will he be able to do that? What's worse is one of your childhood friends comes to town a couple of years later, and you hook up with him for nostalgia, which is weird because Hyro's your first boyfriend, but now you're living with regret more than before. Plus, it's the other guy's baby. You tell Hyro you cheated and break up with him, but still live together because it's too expensive to move out. You also tell him that the baby is his and that you use protection with the other sim. The nerve of your childhood friend to stop by during your pregnancy and claim that it's his child. I mean, I could not believe it. Like, I couldn't believe he stopped by. Like, why would he? Like, it's like the nerve. She literally told him, I just want to be friends. I don't want to talk to you like that. And he comes knocking on her door, and it was like literally the time when Hyro got out of work. Hyro shoved him and kicked him out of the property, but it's all too humiliating for you, Arya. You have twins, and you give them rhyming names. It takes years, but you're scared of partying and dating, and Hyro's been single this whole time. You know it's because he loves you, and that he never stopped loving you, and that you never stopped loving him. You shoot your shot, and you start dating again slowly, which is exciting news for your children. You have a small, sweet wedding in Tartosa and a honeymoon getaway, the first one of this legacy, which was like, I was shocked looking back, like, oh wow, no honeymoon? Okay, wow. I at least did it. I did it, y'all. Okay, don't judge me. Once you return, Hyro hears how his parents passed away and that his younger brother has no family other than him. So the little brother joins the household, and his evil little behind is your heir's enemy. Yeah, that was a mess. So now you're like, who's the heir? I went with the oldest child. Her name is Aliana, because obviously they're the similar age, and it was like so entertaining, that gameplay. And guess what made her come back? The red eyes from Gen 1 and Gen 2 heir. I could not believe it. I mean, I don't know if it was genetics or a glitch, but what a way to like end the legacy. Here is her aspiration, big happy family. I have to work with Gen 11 and 10 for happy family because you have to have grandkids and stuff like that. And one of the reasons why I'm more open-minded about this is I didn't get my legacy player notification. Hear me out, y'all. So what happened is you met the 10 Sims. The problem is the game's family tree did not recognize it. So if you don't know, if you play the legacy, you get a notification pop up through your notifications, and it'll be like something like, you're a legacy player, blah blah, kind of thing, and it's just like, I didn't get it. And so now I'm just gonna go to Gen 11 because it recognizes Rico as Gen 1 when he's not Gen 1. But I'm gonna roll with it. What could I do? You know what I'm saying? Cheerful, perfectionist, goofball, and jealous. I think I gave her those traits actually, and I think I said to myself I was gonna give her a trait for when she's adult, or let self-discovery give her a trait. But yeah, she's such an interesting sim. I love her story so far. And if y'all saw her, she lives in Copperdale. She's the one who works at the Copperdale comedy club. Sometimes I'll show y'all a photo of her there. And yeah, this is her. I love her braids. I just love her style. She's just simple. And again, for as the gens go by, there is somewhat more money in the family. I wouldn't say they're that rich though for me, but they were just somewhat decent. Gen 10, the funniest to ever do it. Skill, comedy, and knitting. Your evil little uncle moves in and he picks on you so much that your parents believe he's innocent and that they can't see right through his facade. He sets you up so well to the point your mother moves you in with your grandma. How dare she? The mother that she ran away from now is raising me? Wait, except grandma and grandpa are amazing. I love it here in Willow Creek. Why did mom hate it here so much? Then you find out that your mother cheated on your father, and that's rich considering they're always allowed to give each other second chances, but I have to be kicked out. At least grandma taught you knitting and you had a lot of fun time, you know what I'm saying? And you got to, hone that comedy while you were there in Willow Creek. When you're about to age up to teen, your mother asks you to move back, but you reject her request and tell her that you're happier in Willow Creek. You age up and have a rebellious streak, but calm down when you're a young adult sim. You have a jealous trait and low-key it infuriates you how your parents never believed you that Uncle Bobby is evil, but you're not going to repeat your mother's mistakes. Because the mom has always regrets and all this stuff, so she didn't want to play a revenge game with Bobby or something like that or be petty. They fought, said what she said to Bobby, and again, Bobby holds resentment. I don't know if you know, but the reason why Bobby was mean to her was because he wanted her to be as alone as he was, that he didn't have his parents. Well, you're gonna go through that. I know he's evil. Like, it's evil. Why would you think that? But he is evil. So yeah, the moment you age up, break up with your boyfriend, because he's a teen crush. Focus on your comedy. You go to tour around the world, in my mind, and then maybe in Copperdale you meet a really cute sim there and you fall in love with him and move in together. Copperdale is nice. The winters are really cold, but you found true love. Aliana will never understand why her mother cheated on her father. Aliana even still keeps in contact with her ex. He even asks her about sims he should date, what he should do, who should he talk to. All these questions, and Aliana never is like, I want to be with him. Can you come over? Do you get what I'm saying? So she just doesn't understand that perspective of her mom, and it's okay. Everybody's different, right? She never felt jealous or anything. She's content where she is. She has 3 dogs and 3 kids with her man, and his name is Damien. I didn't intend for this gen to be messy, but long story short, if you know, Aliana is the oldest, right? And she has 2 younger siblings, and their father isn't her father's children biologically, but the tea had to get out, and I thought she was gonna go to the grave with this. I thought she was gonna pull a Nico, Gen 9 heir. Long story short, what happened was Gen 10, one of the siblings of Aliana, the twin girls, one of them started dating like one of the relatives from her biological father's side, like her father's cousin. When I tell you I was so shook, like I talked about it on Twitter and some of y'all were telling me that that's so Game of Thrones, like oh my god, and I was shaking. Yeah, and then like the whole tea had to get out. So Arya had a family meeting and she sat her kids down with the old fling she had and had to tell them the truth. And of course her daughter was shook, like oh my god, she's dating someone that's like her uncle, and like she was just so stressed out. The husband and wife broke up, got a divorce, like he was heartbroken. Can you imagine hearing such horrible news on the last days of your life? You know what I'm saying? So, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. Because, that's why the secret had to get out. Because she's dating her dad's first cousin. Like, that's insane. And one thing I recommend y'all is to have aging on, because they develop their family tree, these random townies and, even the townies and stuff like that. You could follow like, oh my god, this family tree's been going on for 5 gens, like a random townie from Gen 5, then had all these babies, now it's Gen 10 kind of thing, So yeah, that's all I'm telling you. Y'all get that together, and the legacy family tea be so juicy. When I say that, Millie broke up with the guy, I'm gonna show y'all everything. Because when she broke up with him, he wanted to still be with her. He was still trying to, like, you know, cuddle up on her, love on her, and she was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this with you. She started dating another sim. Now she has another baby with another man. She moved on. He's not moved on. He's still thinking about her. She is starting to get to know her father, Millie and Philly, the twins. They're starting to get to know their biological father now, and Hyro does keep in contact with them. He moved away to Copperdale with Aliana and her 4 children, I believe. And yeah, he's like in his last days staying there, and you know, he just wants to be somewhere safe. He doesn't want to stay with Arya. He doesn't want to forgive her because he's scared that if he stays with her, that he's gonna forgive her. So yeah, y'all, this was just like, I never expected the tea to come out. Like I said, I thought she was gonna pull a Nico and go to the grave with it. But I could tell, like, when the ex messaged her, and the reason why she even came out with it was, he told her, oh, you were looking down at me all these years, and now look at it, your daughter is dating my cousin. That's when she was like about to vomit. Like, she was like, I have to confess to everything, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's when, like, she was living without almost guilt for so many years, that at that moment, like, knowing that how much it could affect her daughter, it was just, she had to confess. So yeah, all this to say, legacy tea is so juicy. Give yourself a chance. I'm telling you, there's excommunicated family members, there's sims who accidentally date their relatives. Like, I swear I did not think this is possible. So imagine what's gonna happen in your story, y'all. Like, I'm just saying, y'all. Can you imagine what happens in your story and what kind of tea that can happen in your family trees? Like, please give legacy a chance. Like, imagine all this happening in the final gen. I could not believe this. If you told me in Gen 1 that this would happen in Gen 10, I would not believe you. Straight up. But that's all to say, that's how legit I thought it was, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna end the video right here, y'all. If you want to watch any other let's plays on my channels that have a lot of juicy, crazy drama like this, I totally recommend Growing Together. I recommend the Boldens. That was pretty interesting, actually somewhat parallels with Gen 9, which kind of like creeped me out with that. But what else is another series? The Perfect Life Challenge. I mean, I did play it with my legacy sims, so that's a perfect place to go and see maybe a part of this family if you're curious. So yeah, I have a bunch of let's plays if it's your first time watching, and thank you so much for the support on my previous video. I really do adore y'all, and I'm so appreciative of all the support. I wish y'all a lovely, 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 lovely day. Please comment your thoughts, not only on the legacy but your own legacy. I'd love to hear your stuff. Take care.